We could be so guilty of so many forms of stealing if we are not aware. Kung minsan nagtataka ka, bakit ang hirap-hirap ng buhay, ang sikip-sikip ng wallet, ayaw pasukan ng pera, bakit ang hirap-hirap pumasok ng kabuhayan, bakit hindi ka magtagumpay, yung pala guilty tayo ng maraming mga financial offenses. And of course, these financial offenses will not only stop blessings from flowing into your life, but will also prevent you from being a blessing to people. So both ways, you lose. At maraming mga tao, kaya kailangan i-reviewin ang mga bagay na ito pala ang bara, kaya hindi sila nabe-bless. Kaya pala, kahit ang daming perang pumapasok kuminsan sa kanilang bulsa, labas at labas din, wala ding natitira. Kasi hindi natutuwa ang langit sa kanilang paraan ng paghawak sa pera. Laging may nalalamangan, may nananakawan, may nakakawawa. Stealing from the rich or from the poor are both wrong. But stealing from the poor, especially by the rich, are infinitely more sinful. Marami sanang mga karangyaan at mga kariwasaan sa buhay ang matatamasa ng mga mananampalataya kung hindi lang nila nababiolate ang mga financial rules of God. Marami sana mga pagkakataon na mas umaasenso ang buhay, mas lumuluwag, if only people would be sensitive to the financial sensibilities taught in the Bible. Ang ating pag-aaral ngayon para lalo tayong guminhawa sa buhay at tumamasa ng mga pagpapala ng Diyos. 5 financial sins and mistakes to avoid. 5 na mga pinakapangunahing mga pagkakamali sa paghahawak, pamamahala ng pananalapi na dapat ay iwasan ng mananampalataya. Salamat po o Diyos dahil kayo pinagmumula ng mga katuroan na nagtutuwid sa aming buhay, nagpapasagana at sumaayon sa iyong kalooban. Kayo po ang mangusap, turuan niyo po kami, lalo namin maunawa ang kalooban niyo sa aming pamamahala ng aming mga pananalapi. Lead us, teach us, so we could be blessings to people as well. And may our obedience to you unlock many more favors and many more blessings from you because you are kind and you are good and you are just. Father, we ask you to be our speaker. Teach us. In the name of your Son, Jesus, we pray with thanksgiving. Amen. Deuteronomy 24:14-15. Do not take advantage of a hired worker who is poor and needy. Pay them their wages each day before sunset, because they are poor and are counting on it. Otherwise, they may cry to the Lord against you, and you will be guilty of sin. So obviously, ang unang kinakausap dito, ang pangunahin ay yung mga employers, mga may kaya sa buhay, may mga manggagawa na pinasusweldohan. At sinabi, huwag pagsasamantalahan ang pangangailangan ng mga mahihirap. At kung sila ay arawan na nagtatrabaho, kailangan paglubog ng araw, pagkatapos ng isang maghapong pagtatrabaho, sila ay bayaran na. Baka daw sila ay dumaing sa Panginoong Diyos kung sila ay pinatatagalan pa ang kanilang mga sweldo at sila ay dinggin ng Diyos at ang nagmamalupit sa kanila ay makatanggap ng parusa. So as we talk about 5 financial sins and mistakes, one is underpaying workers. Hindi pagbabayad ng sapat, ng tama, patuloy na pagsasamantala sa mga nangangailangan at patuloy na pagdidiin sa kanila sa kahirapan. And next to that is delaying payment of workers. Kaya nga nagtatrabaho yung mga tao kasi kailangan nila yung kikitain. Hindi na dapat tagalan pa, pananagutan ng mga employers, ng sino man na namumuhunan o nangangailangan ng hard labor na magbayad sa oras at ng kompleto. At kung maaari ay sobrahan pa sa hinihingi ng batas o sa usapan, lalo't kayang-kaya naman noong nagbabayad. Na sa pag-asenso ng namumuhunan, sa pag-asenso nitong employer, kasabay na umaasenso ang mga manggagawa. James 5:4-5. Look, the wages you failed to pay the workers who mowed your fields are crying out against you. The cries of the harvesters have reached the ears of the Lord Almighty. You have lived on earth in luxury and self-indulgence. You have fattened yourselves in the day of slaughter. Tinutuos ng langit, dinidinig ng langit ang lahat ng daing ng mga kawawang manggagawa na ginigipit ng kanilang mga employers. Nakararating sa tainga ng Diyos ang kanilang mga pagdaing. At yun daw sobrang nagpapasasa sa buhay ay parang pinatataba lang nila ang kanilang mga sarili para mga hayop na pinatataba para sa araw ng pagkakatay. may araw ng pagtutuos. At ang lahat ng mga excess fat that came from the blood of the poor workers and wage earners will be accounted for. Delaying payment of workers intentionally for selfish convenience or gain or for more profit, that is hated by God. Napakalambot ng puso ng Panginoon sa mga manggagawa at mga kapuspalad. Kaya kinakailangan na sino man na pinagpapala ng Diyos na umangat sa buhay at siya na ngayon itong employer ay maging mapagkalinga. Even in the much ballyhooed economic progress of our country, so many of our countrymen and countrywomen are not becoming participants or recipients of the bonanza because only the capitalists are making so much money and the laborers are really paid very, very measly. Masyadong konti ang sweldo. Kahit anong gawin mo, hindi mapagkasya ng mga taong kanilang trabaho. Napakaganda na yung mga corporate groups, sila na mismo ang magkusa to share profits with their workers. Kailangan po natin maghintay na mag-alsa, magkaroon ng himagsika ng mga nagugutom para magising ang mga sobrang mayayaman naman. You will read this in the newspapers. Tens of billions, many tens and tens of billions sa mga net profit nila the past year. Pagkatapos pag tinignan mo yung mga pasweldo sa mga manggagawa, sobrang maliit. Sobrang top-heavy ang ating mga kumpanya. Top people, executives, and all that have so much privileges. And they enjoy so much when it is at the back of the toiling majority where the economic growth actually happens. And they make it happen. Kaya kailangan naman magkaroon tayo ng ganung uri ng konsyensya. At sa pagtitrain naman natin ating mga manggagawa, we should train our people, our workers, for higher paying jobs. It's not enough that they have a job, that they are not idle, but they should get more for their labor. Why? Because you live only once in this kind of life before eternity. At yung mga what you miss here, you miss forever. Kaya mahalaga na may opportunity sa binibigay tayo sa mga tao. Isa sa mga nakakalungkot na katotohanan sa ating lipunan, ang dami mga gifted people but they are not able to develop their gifts because they're always trying to just survive. Ang dami mga magagaling na tao na ibinebenta na nila yung buong buhay nila, lahat ng oras nila sa buhay sa kanilang mga employer, hanggang tumanda na lang sila at namalayan nilang mamamatay na lang sila, pero ang dami pang nilang pangarap na hindi natupad, ang dami pang mga dapat gawin, marami pang dapat napuntahan, nakain, pero naalipin na lang sila ng walang tigil na pagtatrabaho at hindi sila makalaya kasi isang kahit-isang tuka. Wala silang kahit konting puhunan ng 2 buwan na pwedeng maghanap ng mas magandang opportunity kasi wala nang gagastusin para bukas. At yun ay nakakahiya sa Diyos, lalong-lalo sa isang bansa na sinasabi mo na maraming asenso, umaasenso ang lahat, tapos maraming taong sobrang naiiwan. Psalm 37:21, the wicked borrow and do not repay, but the righteous give generously. Again, another offense to the sensibilities of God is borrowing and not paying on time, fully, and with interest. Jewish lenders were forbidden to charge interest to their people, but the borrowers were not forbidden to voluntarily pay interests. Ang pinagbabawalan lang naman ay nagsasamantala ka sa pangangailangan ng nagigipit, hindi ka daw dapat nagpapataw ng interest sa ganung mga pautang, pero hindi naman pinipigil yung nangutang, lalo't namuhon na naman siya, kumita naman siya, umasenso siya, hindi naman siya pinipigil na magkusang magbigay ng interest sa nagpautang sa kanya. Gawin natin mga kapatid na practice kung sakasakaling kinakailangan umutang sa kapwa. At least pag isinoli mo, bigyan mo naman ng interest. Kasi yung mahiniram mo, kung nasa bangko, kikita man lang yun kahit 2%. Kahit 1.5%. Pero ang tagal-tagal na nasa iyo ang pera niya, isosoli mo, hiniram mo nung 5 years ago, 5,000, ibibigay mo rin ngayon 5,000. Baka ang value na lang doon, mga 4,700, 4,500. Masyadong lugi yung nagpahiram. Bukod sa ang haba ng panahon na ninervyos siya, kung mababayaran ba o hindi. Kaya mo bang bayaran yung nervyos niya? Kaya mo bang bayaran yung pagsisihan na mag-asawa na? Ba't ba kasi pinautang mo yan? Pinsan mo, ayan tuloy, wala tayong pera, hindi tayo makasingil. Malaki. Ang puhunan na nagpapautang, hindi lang yung pera, pati yung pangamba na baka hindi siya mabayaran, at yung effort na maningil, kung kailangan ka pang habul-habulin. God likes investors to earn profits. The Bible is full of stories, even stories told by Jesus, which were parables, meant to give lessons, that people are supposed to make investments grow. That is not wrong to make profit. That profiteering at the expense of the needy, that is what is wrong. Money borrowed for investment or for business must earn interest. Money borrowed for non-commercial emergencies should not be levied interest. Magkaiba eh. Pagka pinahiram ka dahil nangangailangan ka, sabi, huwag ka nang singilin, lalo't patuloy ka pa rin nagigipit. Pero kung ipinahiram sa iyo, ipinuhunan mo, nagamit mo para kumita ka, magkaroon ka ng trabaho, dapat magbigay ka ng interest. It is noteworthy that there's a lot of teachings in the Bible, both in the New and the Old Testaments, about how to handle money. You would say, and many people would think, that spirituality is concerned only with what is beyond eternity and not in this material world. But yes, the Bible is full of teachings about how to manage financial resources. James 2:15-16. Suppose a brother or a sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to them, "Go in peace, keep warm and well fed," but does nothing about their physical needs, what good is it? Isa na namang napakalaking katuruan ito. May dumadaing sa iyo, may nahihirapan, tapos sabi mo, sige, pagpipray kita, pagpalain ka naman ng Diyos, nawa, bumuti ang kalagayan mo. Tapos wala kang man lang inabot, pinahiram, ibinigay, na kaya mo naman, isang malaking offense yun sa kabaitan ng Diyos. Not giving to the needy brother or sister when one had the capacity to help is an offense. Yung iba, pag sinabi nila kung minsan ipagpe-pray kita, parang ano lang nila pangtakas, para makaiwas sa pananagutan na may gawin pa silang mas practical, ang sasabihin nilang, "I will pray for you." Why pray for people when you can already give them what they need? So don't use prayer as a means to escape from responsibility, especially when you are able to answer for their needs or to give what they want. Napakahalaga mga kapatid, reviewin natin ito kasi kung minsan, pag hindi natin laging nire-review, nagagawa na pala natin, hindi na lang natin napapansin. Sabi ng matatanda, ang paalala ay gamot sa taong nakakalimot. Proverbs 14:14, you harvest what you plant, whether good or bad. Which brings us to a very, very universal and powerful and changing truth. Not planting good seeds of generosity and kindness is offensive to God. Planting bad seeds of selfishness, deviousness, and cleverness are all alike. Kailangan nagtatanim tayo ng mabuti. This is the sin of omission. To steal from the poor is a sin of commission. But not to give to the needy, not to plant good seeds of generosity and kindness is a sin of omission. Dalawang paraan naman tayo para magkasala. May ginagawa kang mali, o may dapat kang ginagawang tama, tapos hindi mo ginagawa. Stealing from, cheating and underpaying planters and farmers, investors, workers, and buyers are all offensive. Exodus 20:15, one of the 10 commandments, you shall not steal. It is so easy to say and dismiss that I am not a thief, I don't rob, but brothers and sisters, intellectual piracy is stealing. Many people could be very guilty of this without being aware. Producing, selling, or buying pirated and imitation products are acts of stealing. When you enjoy the prestige of a brand splashed all over your bag, and that bag is an imitation, that is a stolen glory. When you produce something and splash a brand on it that is paying a lot, spending so much for research, for advertising, for product development, and you steal their brand or logo and put it on an imitation product, that is stealing. You don't have to grab somebody's wallet to be a thief. And this shade of thievery is something that many people become colorblind to. Parang white lie. There is no such thing. A lie is a lie. And stealing is stealing. Marami pa po mga ibang forms of stealing that the people of God should be sensitive to. Plagiarism, formally or casually, stealing somebody's idea. Cutting and pasting information from the internet and putting it in your term paper without citing the sources and the references, that is stealing. Stealing credit for an idea that is not yours. Adultery, of course, is a form of stealing. Stealing somebody's spouse. Defamation, ruining people's reputation, is stealing their honor, their dignity. We could be so guilty of so many forms of stealing if we are not aware. Kung minsan nagtataka ka, bakit ang hirap-hirap ng buhay, ang sikip-sikip ng wallet, ayaw pasukan ng pera, Bakit ang hirap-hirap pumasok ng kabuhayan? Bakit hindi ka magtagumpay? Yung pala, guilty tayo ng maraming mga financial offenses. And of course, these financial offenses will not only stop blessings from flowing into your life, but will also prevent you from being a blessing to people. So both ways, you lose. At maraming mga tao, kaya kailangan reviewin ang mga bagay na ito pala ang bara, kaya hindi sila nabe-bless. Kaya pala, kahit ang daming perang pumapasok kumisan sa kanilang bulsa, labas at labas din, wala ding natitira. Kasi hindi natutuwa ang langit sa kanilang paraan ng paghawak sa pera. Laging may nalalamangan, may nananakawan, may nakakawawa. Stealing from the rich or from the poor are both wrong. But stealing from the poor, especially by the rich, are infinitely more sinful. Minsan, kitang-kita natin yung mga magnanakaw na nangaagaw ng bag sa kalsada, kumukupit ng mga toothpaste, mga tindahan, pero hindi natin nakikita yung mga professional na ang yayaman, na sobra palang nagnanakaw. Of course, tax evasion is a form of stealing. When you make your fortune in this country and avoid paying correct taxes, you're actually stealing from the people who should benefit from the taxes that are earned from your business that flourish in this land. But according to studies, the biggest tax cheaters are the rich. They can hire a battery of accountants and lawyers to find ways and means so that at the end of the day, they don't pay the tax. And then our workers are heavily taxed. Hindi mo pa nga kinikita, may tax deduction na. Importante, masamang magnakaw, pero lalong masamang magnakaw sa mahirap at ikaw yung nagnanakaw ay mayaman. Proverbs 20 verse 10, two things the Lord hates are dishonest scales and dishonest measures. Siyempre, sa biglang tingin ang pinag-uusapan, mga timbangan sa palengke. Ayaw daw ng Diyos ng madayang timbangan. Bumibili ako, nagbabayad ako sa iyo para sa 1 kilong karne, pero ang nakuha ko lang pala kulang dahil madaya ang timbangan mo. The Lord hates it. Dapat kung ano ang binabayaran, yun ang makuha na produkto o service. When clients are not able to get what they are paying for, they are being stolen from. Basta dishonest ang measures, ang numbers. So, ganun yung pag-cheat ng mga numbers sa taxes, numbers na dapat bayaran. Kung ang mga tao lang nagbabayad ng tax lahat, ang dami-daming pera dapat ng gobyerno. At kung hindi na nakawin ng mga nangangasaywa, dapat ang luwag-luwag ng buhay ng Pilipinas. Pero wala. From the taxpayer, to the tax collector, to the disbursing officer, to those who are handling the money, may nangyayaring thievery. And at the end of the day, all of us suffer. Lahat na dadaya. Kailangan maingat. Maingat ka sa pagbabayad ng mga dapat bayaran. Commercial and numerical cheating, not giving in full what buyers pay for or deserve, is sinful and hated by God. Yung nandadaya sa mga bilang, sa timbang, sa quality. Bibili ka ng karne, ba't kaya namamaga ito? Tinuturukan pala ng tubig para bumigat. Kung ano-anong klaseng mga pandaraya. Mga karne na hindi na mabili, ang luma-luma na, bigla lalagyan mga kulay na mga strong, mga taste. Ibebenta as kung ano-anong processed meat. Kinakain mo, yung pala bulok na pandaraya. Hindi ka naman nagsabing, pabili nga po ng bulok na karne. Pero nadideceive ka ng kulay, nadideceive ka ng mga lasa. So, ang nabibili mo, hindi yung binabayaran mo. Product weight, quantity and quality, undeserved grades, for instance. Dishonest numbers, all of this are forms of thievery. Pagka nagnanakaw ka ng grade, nag-cheat ka lang pala, hindi naman talaga dapat mataas yung grade mo, that is thievery. Lahat ng dishonest numbers. At magtataka ka, ang daming teaching sa Bible about numbers. Meron pang isang book, ang tawag Numbers. Mahalaga ang numbers sa Diyos. At dapat din natin bantayan yon. We can go on and cite so many examples, but that should be enough. What we have should be enough to make us sensitive again to the things that we might be getting desensitized to. Pagka maraming gumagawa, parang tama na parang pwede na. Pero remember, may accounting na ginagawa ang langit. May pagsusulit. And God is just. Good is rewarded. Bad is punished. Commercial, financial, and transactional unkindness, dishonesty, cheating, and stealing are sins that God hates, that the guilty pay dearly for. Maraming uri ng pagnanakaw na hindi kinakalugod ng Diyos. Halimbawa, yung sinasabing pagnanakaw sa Malakay 3, 8 to 10. You people are robbing me, your God. You are robbing me of the offerings and of the 10% that belongs to me. I am the Lord all-powerful, and I challenge you to put me to the test. Bring the entire 10% into the storehouse so that there will be food in my house. Then I will open the windows of heaven and flood you with blessing after blessing. This kind of teaching sometimes draws very emotional reactions to people, especially to those who don't want to obey it. Pero Malachi 3:10 is as biblical as John 3:16, and both must be taught powerfully and clearly for the sake of those who should know it and for the sake of those who will benefit in obeying it. Napakahalaga na hindi mo ninanakawan ng kapwa-tao at lalo namang ang Diyos. At sabi niya, alam niyo, ninanakawan niyo ako eh. Huwag na kayo magtanong-tanong pa, magmaang-maangan kung paano niyo ako ninanakawan. Sabi, pagka hindi kayo matapat sa inyong ikapu, ninanakawan niyo ako. Ba't di niyo ako subukan? Sabi ng Diyos. Natatakot kang matalo, natatakot kang malugi. Ba't di niyo ako subukan? Maging matapat kayo, at kung hindi ko patunayan sa inyo, napababahain ko ang pagpapala sa inyong buhay. So niya, ako na Diyos, ang pinakamakapangyarihan na nagsasabi nito, subukan niyo ako. Ang pagnanakaw kasi, isang uri ng kakulangan ng pagtitiwala sa Diyos. Pag nagnakaw ka, nandaya ka, sinasabi mong, kung hindi ako gagawa ng masama, hindi ako mabubuhay. Pag hindi ako gagawa ng hindi tama, pag sumunod lang ako sa mga sinasabi ng Diyos, malulugi ako, magugutom ako, maghihirap ako. That's why it becomes doubly sinful because it is an expression of lack of trust in God. Na pagka gumawa ka ng tama at ang iyong maka-Diyos ka, mapapabuti ang buhay mo. So, gagawa ka ngayon ng paraan and you will have to borrow tactics from the evil one just to be able to get what you want. Kaya napakahalaga yung tiwala sa Diyos. At nanghahamon pa ang Diyos, sabi niya, subukan niyo ako. Sino kaya sa atin ang talagang nakatanggap na nung hamon at sinubukan nyo nga? Dahil, alam nyo, ang mga matatapat sa area na to ng giving, hindi lang sa tithing sa church, pati sa charity, pati sa pagbibigay sa kapwa, pagtulong, yung mga matatapat, yung napatunayan na nila sa buhay nila, na talagang totoo ang pangako. At yung mga patuloy na hindi matapat dyan, yung mga hindi pa nila nasusubok talaga, kaya hindi nila nalalakasan ng loob nila na gawin ito. The selfish, the opportunistic, the exploiters, cheaters and thieves receive the bad, they give to others. Because in this spiritual life, you keep only what you give away and you lose what you selfishly attempt to keep for yourself. Galatians 6:7, do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Or from the Contemporary English Version, you cannot fool God. So don't make a fool of yourself. You will harvest what you plant. Cheaters think they win. They win here and lose there. There's balance. They steal from others only for them to be robbed in turn. Dahil may balance. The entire universe runs in balance. Lahat ng negative number may katapat na positive number. Everything is balanced. Kaya pag may ninakaw ka, may mananakaw sa'yo. Pag may ibinigay ka, may matatanggap ka. This is the secret of how to live under God's prosperous, unchanging laws. Bawat panlalamang sa kapwa ay may katapat na paniningil mula sa langit. Baka hindi natin namamalaya, nakakapanglamang na pala tayo. We should restitute, we should pay. And with interest. The selfish, opportunistic miss God's delight, favor, and blessing. So Proverbs 11:25, sabi diyan, a generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. Ang taong palabigay ay mag-aani ng marami. Sasagana ang kanyang buhay. Sino man ang tumutulong sa kapwa ay tutulungan din. Luke 6:38, give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Pag lagi kang kuripot, ayaw mo nang kumita ang kapwa mo tao na nagnenegosyo, nagtitinda, sa palagay mo aasenso ka doon, pagkukuriputan ka rin ng langit. Kung may pinagkakaitan ka, meron din magkakait sa'yo. Pag may binibigyan ka, merong magbibigay sa'yo. At hindi man tao ang magsukli sa'yo noon, hindi ba yun alam ng Diyos? Sabi niya, I am God all-powerful. I know how to repay. Matthew 25:45, he will reply, truly I tell you, whatever you did not do for one of the least of this, you did not do for me. And this is a conversation from the story of Jesus about God in heaven telling people, oh, you are going to enjoy eternity with me because you have been so good to me. And people said, we never did anything good to you. And he will say, whatever good you do to others, I count it as having been done to me. Kung ano man ang ginawa mong masama sa kapwa, ako na rin ang maniningil sa iyo. Aariin ko rin na sa akin mo ginawa. The selfish, the opportunistic feel like winners, but blissfully unaware of how much they really lose. Suriin natin mga sarili, mga kapatid. Identify, beware of, and avoid and stop financial sins and mistakes. Because that could be the very big impediment to your own progress. To blessings that are supposed to be received by you, but you never get because we block the way of blessing. At kung kayo naman yung biktima ng mga panglalamang, pangdanakaw ng kapwa, we must be innocent as doves, but wise as serpents. Do not permit yourself to become victimized all the time. Hindi ibig sabihin ng godliness, tanggapin mo na lang ang pambibiktima at pagsasamantala sa iyo ng kapwa. You must speak up for your rights. You must speak up for what you have already earned. Kung hindi ka binabayaran, kailangan maningil ka. Kung nagpautang ka, hindi nakakahiyang maningil, lalo't kinakalimutan niya ang kanyang singil. Kumisa kasi sa sobrang bait natin, nagpapaapi na tayo. Remember, be innocent as doves, but be wise as serpents. Huwag naman yung sadyain na nadadaya na kayo, hindi pa kayo kumikibo. Huwag niyo namang sadyain na halos pumayag kayo na apihin at kawawain at hindi mabayaran sa mga dapat sana ay babayaran tayo. God is just, and to seek justice is not an ungodly thing. Kailangan na may katwiran, may katapatan, at may umiiral na hustisya sa ating buhay. Mga kapatid, napakaraming pagpapala ng Diyos. Kung gusto tayong pagpalain ng Diyos, sino naman ang makakapigil sa Kanya? Pero kung ayaw niya, at lalo kung tayo ay naglalagay ng bara, sino ang makakapilit sa Diyos sa pagpalain tayo kung lumalagay tayo sa lugar na sinasabi na niyang, hindi ko pagpapalain ang ganyang uri ng pamumuhay? Think. Mag-isip tayo, baka meron tayong mga utang na nalimutan na. At dahil hindi na kumikibo yung pinagkautangan natin, buong puso na nating nilimot. Dapat sa abot ng ating makakaya ngayon, magbayad. Kahit partially, kahit konti, kahit bahagi. And never forget to acknowledge, may utang ako sa iyo, may kulang ako sa iyo. Hindi ko palang kayang bayaran ngayon, pero nasa isip ko yan. Lagi niyong ipapaalala. Kasi nakaka-nervous talaga yung baka nakalimutan. Noong umutang. Siyempre yung nagpautang, hindi niya malilimutan yon. Ang nakakalimot lagi yung umutang. No? Tapos pag siningil mo, galit pa. Kung saan kumukuha ng lakas ng loob na siya patong magalit. Samantalang sa oras ng kanyang pangangailangan, siya ay pinagbigyan, siya ay tinulungan. Sa ating business dealings at sa mga employer natin, kung hindi man kayo makapagbigay ng increases na regular, once in a while, every season na malaki naman ang kita ng kumpanya, at hindi man magbigay ng kahit periodic bonuses, malaking bagay sa mga kukunti ang pera, yung kahit konting pera lang. Malaki yun. Kaya importante na to always share. One of the greatest proofs of godliness is kindness to other people. Godliness is not measured by the verses we memorize, by the volume of verses, kundi gaano nagiging mapagmahal tayo. Gaano tayo nagiging honest sa ating mga dealings at gaano tayo nagiging mapagbigay. This is the way to blessing. You plant, so you harvest. Dear God, we ask you, speak to us privately. Ipakita niyo sa amin, Panginoon, ang kalagayan ng aming puso when it comes to handling finances. Kung kami ay mga mabait, matapat na mga employer at employees, dahil bilang mga employee, pwede rin kami ang magnakaw. Sinusweldohan kami, pero hindi kami nagtatrabaho ng ganap, ng kumpleto, ng buo. O pwedeng literally nananakawan namin ng aming mga employers. Ipakita mo kung saan kami nakatayo. At sino man, Panginoon, ngayon na nakalagay sa isang lugar na talaga namang napakaganda, hindi nandadaya, nagbabayad ng mabuti, hindi nagnanakaw, salamat sa ganong uri ng spiritualidad. Dalangin namin ang lahat ay mapunta doon at manatili sa ganong blessed situation. Pero sa kung may mga anak ka na nakikita mo ngayon, Panginoon, na may pagkukulang sa ganitong bahagi ng buhay, soften our hearts. Teach us to be submissive to your will. Teach us to apply your word even in areas where we will be inconvenienced or we will pay a a financial price. Turuan mo kami, Lord, na maging makadiyos, banal, sa lahat ng larangan ng buhay namin, kahit doon sa mga parte na parang magmumukha kami magagastosan. Turuan mo kami na yung dapat bayaran, bayaran. At yung mga dapat magbayad, ay magbayad. Teach us. Pagbulay-bulayan natin ng mga kapatid, ng mga simpleng katotohanan na ito, na maaaring maging paraan upang ang pagpapalang gusto-gustong ibigay ng Diyos ay dumaloy ng malaya sa ating buhay. Lord, as your people ponder these words, simple but very practical, teach us to show that we love you, that we are your people in these day-to-day ways, Lord, in the way we handle our finances, in the way we deal with people. Teach us. Let's be silent before the Lord and ponder these important issues of daily life.